I was able to get my customer tens of thousands of dollars more for this watch via consignment than if he just sold it to me outright. First off, what are we even looking at? This is the MB&F and Bvlgari Serpenti collab watch. So I'm sure you've seen the Bvlgari Serpenti watch before. This was their collab with MB&F, and MB&F did what they do with watches here and just make them wild. We'll take a closer look at this watch before the video's over, but let's talk a little bit about the deal structure first. So this is the kind of watch that can be very hard to put a value on. It's a fairly new release. They only made 33 of this variant. There's not a single one available online, and there's no public sales history for the watch. But the thing with the MB&F Horological Machine series, which is all of their pretty out there and unique watches, some of them can bring somewhat close to their retail. A lot of them bring a deep discount. And with no history, me as a watch dealer and someone who can't lose money on these watches, I have to get into it somewhere that I feel safe. So I have to buy this watch at a price that feels comfortable, and I don't feel like I'm taking a risk of losing money. And the number that I kind of put in my head to feel somewhat safe on this was around $120,000, which is actually closer to the retail price than I would typically stock a horological machine for. But being that it was a special collaboration, and when you look this watch up online, people seem to rave about it and love the end result of the piece, I was willing to pay a little bit more for it to put it in our inventory. But I told my customer, there's none of these out there. Why don't we test the market and see how high of a buyer we can find? And I'll charge you an 8% consignment fee, which if I find someone to pay close to the retail price, then you could net a ton more money here. So we got the watch in our store. I threw some pictures of it online, and within 3 days, a buyer came out, said that they wanted it. They were trying to get it from MB&F themselves, but it was sold out by the time they tried to, and they were willing to pay pretty close to the retail price for it. So I know lots of people online warn about consignment and say that it's never a good idea to consign a watch with someone, but I would argue that this is the perfect case for a consignment. I would have bought the watch for $120,000 outright. This person got tens of thousands of dollars more for the watch by leaving it on consignment and giving me the opportunity to find a strong buyer for it on a piece that I didn't feel 100% confident paying how much he really wanted to sell it for. On a side note, he also dropped off this HM11 Architect, which is arguably an even sicker piece, but you can stand by for a video on this one soon. If you're wondering how the watch works, we have the hour display on the left eye, the minute on the right. The left side crown is to wind the watch. The right side crown is to set the time, and then we also have a power reserve on the back. And while you're looking at the power reserve, you gotta take a minute to appreciate how stunning this movement is as well. But anyway, that's a wrap. Love to share customer success stories with you guys. And if anyone else has some sick watches that they're ready to move on from, shoot me a DM.